Barbershop Conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. And I'll be forgetting to tell y'all, click that link in the description box, Barbershop Conversations Live and Instagram, and follow me on those two. That way I can, because I want to start going live, as I told you guys before. And what I want to talk about is on Trill Boxing Network, dope show. I think it's the best show on YouTube. I think it's hands down the best show because it talks boxing, real life, street shit that I've never encountered. You know, I mean, it's just it touches a whole lot of men in different demographics. We're not talking about color. We're talking about just demographics. And if you want to talk about color, obviously the two men there are black. Now, he talked about Danny Garcia retiring, but moreover than that, they talked about about Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia changing trainers, like their father is no good for them. And 78 made the best point ever. You know, how the fuck can you say that? And I say this genuinely, how can you say that when those two men has taken them to, and Danny Garcia, 2-division world champion, Shawn Porter, a 2-time world champion. You always want to give a man credit for what he's accomplished, man. You never want to, as a man, you never want to not be a man. You understand what I'm saying? If a man earned it, give it to him. You understand? Because weaknesses, your weaknesses is based upon your weaknesses, not another man's strengths. Okay? So you have to acknowledge your own weakness and make adjustments. And he alluded to, 78 is fucking funny. He alluded to, he said, y'all niggas got baby mamas y'all made a mistake with, or you sitting at a job complaining about another man need to change his job when you sitting at a job very unhappy, extremely uncomfortable, and so on and forth. But make sure it's the first 10 minutes of the show. And I think Angel Garcia has done a hell of a job. You know, I don't know if he's, see, you can't say he's not the best trainer in the world or not, because he's taken his son to the pinnacle. And the same thing you could say about Kenny Porter. Now, where they get in trouble is with their mouth. Now, that's a whole different subject, and you got to be able to distinguish the two. But in terms of what they've accomplished for their kids, you can't do it. You can't say no. It's like you saying LeVar Ball is terrible. It's what he does with his mouth that makes you dislike him. But what he's done with Lonzo is incredible. Lonzo is a top 15 point guard in the NBA, top 20 maybe. That's good. That's pretty damn good. That makes him a top 20 player in the world at his position. You know? So at the end of the day, you got to give these men credit. Now, the second layer to that is where we must distinguish the difference is Angel's mouth and Kenny's mouth. Their mouths make you want to dislike their child. You can't say I don't like them and they're a 2-time world champion. You can't say that. You just got to say I don't like the way Angel Garcia uses the N-word. He's very disrespectful. He's not in touch with reality. He's insensitive to the culture. You can say those things. You can say Kenny Porter, maybe he talks too much. He doesn't fully understand the magnitude or how he's harming his child as it relates to the words that come out of his mouth in terms of fan appeal. But you cannot, in my eyes, you can't say, man, these niggas done turned their young men into fucking millionaires, man. That's my goal. You know? I want my child to be a millionaire. I want him to have $1 million cash. He's gonna have $1 million in equity, but I want to put my son in a position where he has $1 million cash plus the $1 million equity. You understand what I'm saying? So I think I can't say it better than 78. I only can echo what he said, because I was like, damn, that nigga killed it. And even Black Fight Fan was like, yeah, I mean, it can't get no, what do you say, triller than that? It can't get no better than that. Man, give a man credit for what he's accomplished, man. It's like people get mad at LeBron James because he's been to 8 finals or 9 finals and only won 3, if I'm not mistaken. Well, you got to take into account basketball is a team sport. Basketball is a team sport, and there's so many other variables that go into account. And also, you got to take into account LeBron James is literally playing against the 96 and 98 Bulls. Whatever year that was. He had 96 to 98, or in the 92 to 94 Bulls. Like, that's who the Golden State Warriors are. I mean, let's keep it real. I think the Bulls beats the Golden State Warriors, but this generation, these are the 96 to 98 Bulls, the 96 to 99 Bulls, 97, 99 Bulls. You know, Michael Jordan quite possibly could have had 8 championships in a row, man. That's insane. That is literally insane. So not to give LeBron James his credit on the court, you must understand all the other dynamics. There are 11 other basketball players on the court that may not be working as hard as LeBron James. And some of you guys may say that's leadership. At the end of the day, the money is completely different than it was then. J.R. Smith is making $14 million just to shoot threes. You know, you got to take all this into account, man. And the list goes on and on and on. Tristan Thompson is getting, what, $18 million just to rebound. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's give people credit for what they've accomplished. And that's just what I believe. Now, what you're saying is true about their mouths, but distinguish the difference. All right? And at the end of the day, go watch Trail Boxing. Watch what they said this morning. It is said much better than the way I put it, because it's definitely more succinct, more aggressive. And it's just, that's a great ass. Someone gonna swoop them niggas up. I ain't lying. Someone gonna swoop them niggas up. They do better than, how many people do Black Fight Fan have on his 5,000, 7,000, 8,000? I think he has 7,000 subscribers, 8,000 subscribers. 78 got 60,000 subscribers. You put them together, that's, let's say, 70,000 subscribers. Their channel is, their lives are better than every boxing channel on YouTube. They're bigger than every boxing channel on YouTube. And you know what that is? People don't want to subscribe to them, but they watch every goddamn day. That's the truth of the matter. So give these brothers salute, man. Give them kings a round of applause. A round of applause. And at the end of the day, overall, man, let this be a lesson learned. You're never going to get 100% approval. People aren't going to like the way you raise your child. You know your child better than anybody. And there's a spiritual component attached to the child. I think if Danny Garcia left his father, he wouldn't be the same. Me personally speaking. I don't think he can be better. Shawn Porter, if he left his father, I don't think he could be better. Now, what they need to do is add to their team. You understand? Like Danny Garcia needs a speed coach. Shawn Porter needs a strength coach. You understand what I'm saying? So they need to add. And I'm not sure if they micromanage. You understand? They want to be in control. By Kenny Porter's interviews on Fight Hype, he used the word "I" way too much. He alluded to, I put people in position to do certain things. I create the game plan and I tell them what to do, basically, is what he said in that Fight Hype interview. And at the end of the day, that's not how it should be done. You got to trust. You got to trust someone's greatness. You got to trust someone's ability, because now these two athletes are in the phase where, and I've told this to the Porters, you're in your Hall of Fame phase. You've gotten to this point. Now your next 4 to 6 fights is going to distinguish whether you are a Hall of Famer. And the same thing holds true for Danny Garcia. The same thing holds true for Keith Thurman. The same thing holds true for Shawn Porter. These next 4 to 6 fights, you've gotten to the point where people acknowledge you as a top 5 fighter at your weight class in this era. Now, are you going to make the Hall of Fame? And that's the question that needs to be had. We don't want to take away from these kids. Danny Garcia, I call them kids, like I'm 40, but we don't want to take away from them. We want to add to them, okay? We want to add to their legacy. We want to add to their team. You want to add a level of greatness to their team, all right? You got to change that I to we, and everything will be I believe much better. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I ran this morning. I put in 4 miles this morning. And now I'm going to lift weights and then go hit the bag for a little bit. And then I got to start going property shopping, man. But see, here's how they get you, man. This is what I believe how they get you. They raise the interest rate so people like me, you know, small mom and pops, you know, people who work hard for their money, can't buy property at a fast rate. When the interest rates were low, guys, oh man, I could go in and bid on the property, pull equity out of this property because I can refinance for a 2.5–3% interest rate, right? Now when you refi, it's like 5% interest rate. That's and you guys, what's the difference? Hundreds of thousands of dollars when you got $1 million mortgage. You understand what I'm saying? Or a $700,000 mortgage. So that 2% from 3 to 5 will cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And at the end of the day, you might be paying a little too much for that property. You understand? Although it may come with cash flow, it may, you understand? So right now these interest rates are high, and I've identified some more properties to buy, but when I look at the financing, you understand it, and I know I can pull an arm and just pay the interest, and I understand all that, but I don't want to pay these high interest rates right now, you know. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. A cop just drove by me on a motorcycle, so that probably just telling me to get off the phone. I'm not sure if you guys live in LA, but this exposition shit, look, I'm not moving, man. Every day I got to get on the other side of exposition because they have the train that goes to Santa Monica and back on exposition. Shit takes forever. Anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I genuinely love and appreciate y'all. Follow me on Instagram, Silent Heroes. The link will be in the description box. And follow my barbershop conversations live, and we'll go from there. So barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.